The Audio Show.
Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Gettin Cheezy with Van and Jeezy. I'm Van.
And I'm Jeezy.
You might have to excuse my voice a little bit here. I'm a little hoarse.
You look like a large horse to me.
First off, up yours. Second off, I was at a music festival this weekend.
Use a big fine horse once you back that thing up.
No.
Your music festival didn't feature Mystical?
No, but it did feature the Foo Fighters as headliners.
Woo woo!
Great show. But because of that, voice is a little hoarse, and Jeezy did all of the preparation for this show. So thank you, Jeezy.
Don't tell anyone. People are going to be mad when the show's not good.
Anyways, we're going to start with some, not really news, but I guess just stuff in the NFL, because there's really not any news to be had between now and, like, August.
Yeah, I mean, there'll be some stuff. Waiver wires and...
Oh, you mean we get to talk about all the practice squad players getting signed?
And you get, like, OTAs are starting.
Thrilling.
We'll have stuff to talk about, everybody. Don't let Van get you down in the dumps.
I'm not saying we won't, because we're entertaining as fuck no matter what.
But as Van has pointed out, it'll probably be more of football stuff versus football news. Should we start the football stuff?
Let's start the football stuff.
Well, first topic coming up from CBS Sports, we have a top 10 returning players that Pete Prisco thinks are going to have a breakout year. And actually, what I noticed is that Mr. Prisco has quite a number of NFC North players in this list.
Yeah, Crisco's got some good... I just wanted to say Crisco. I didn't have anywhere else to go with that. I just wanted to say Crisco. He should make his own cooking spray and market it as Prisco's Crisco.
Is Crisco a standalone product, or is it made by a parent company?
I believe Crisco's a brand name.
Crisco.com. You are right. They are a brand of all types of fats and oils and lards and all kinds of shit.
Don't test me on my lard knowledge.
Oh, you're right, my B.
I do want to point out that Crisco predicts at least half of these players will be Pro Bowlers after the season. So, lofty statement there, but let's go ahead.
4 out of his 10 picks, NFC North.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? That means that we had 40% of the list had like an off year last year, and they're due to turn it around. So does that mean the NFC North had just kind of an off year? Did we underperform last year as a whole?
I mean...
The answer is yes.
I mean, yeah. I'll have to say probably yeah. We had, I think, 3 teams in the NFC North that were really playoff caliber teams by the names on the rosters, but only one team that kind of performed at that level and then sucked in the playoffs anyway.
Sorry, Lions, for not being in the discussion at all.
All right, anyway, first person coming up, Antonio Callaway, wide receiver out of Cleveland. Some people look at him on the list. I did. I was like, Antonio Callaway, who is that? Isn't Cleveland already got all kinds of superstars? They got Jarvis Landry and obviously OBJ. You know, they've got a pretty stout passing game without Antonio Callaway coming up.
And I feel like Nick Chubb can catch the ball out of the backfield, too.
Yeah, Chubb out of the backfield, definitely.
There's a joke in there.
There is.
That's all I'm going to say is there's a joke in there.
So anyway, Prisco writes that Callaway had 3 of his 5 touchdown catches in the final 6 games of the season as a rookie. And he had 3 games in that stretch with 5 or more catches where he averaged over 17 yards per reception. If this guy's got the talent that he seems to have, it makes sense that he'll have a breakout year next year because a lot of pressure is going to be off of him. I mean, OBJ is someone that could expect double coverage regularly. Jarvis Landry is no slouch either.
What this guy says, his prediction is Antonio Callaway to average 17 yards a catch with 8 or 9 touchdowns, which apparently means that Baker Mayfield is throwing for 57 touchdowns this year.
You think so? You have to triple it? You think he's going to throw at least that much to the other 2?
Come on. Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr. are obviously the clear 1 and 2s. That's like saying Devontae Adams is going to have 14 touchdowns and Marquez Valdes-Scantling is going to have 9.
That would be tight, though, if that did happen.
Well, that's obviously what you want, but it's not going to happen.
We'll see about it. I'm going to be looking for Antonio Callaway when it comes time for the Pro Bowl.
I'm a hater.
Next up, Minkah Fitzpatrick, free safety out of Miami. He was the team's first-round pick, 2018. He played well in a lot of spots, even got a pick for a touchdown. They played him all over the field. Safety, corner, nickelback.
Oh, man, he played Chad Kroger?
Look at this graph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh.
This is funny. I just looked at Minkah Fitzpatrick's profile on CBSSports.com, and the second news article about him, Dolphins Minkah Fitzpatrick scores pick six in a loss.
I mean, that's the story of the Dolphins.
I'm looking at his stats. 51 tackles as a rookie is not bad. 2 picks. That's pretty solid.
Yeah, that's solid. Here's the quote I want to pull from this. New Dolphins coach Brian Flores comes from the Patriots, and he had a similar type of player in Devin McCourty, a former corner moved inside to safety. I would imagine that's the role Fitzpatrick will play for the Dolphins. If they're saying Minkah Fitzpatrick is a similar type of player to Devin McCourty, I think he's someone to keep an eye on. He's young, and he's been versatile, and like you said, he's got some pretty decent stats for a rookie.
Speaking of young, though, we're old. We are absolutely old. I look at this, he's got a birth date in here, November 17th, 1996. My little sister is older than this guy, and she's like 12. She's perpetually 12 in my brain.
She turned at least 13 since like 6 years ago. Moving on, next person, Trey Flowers, cornerback from Seattle. 6'3", 200 pounds in the corner. I love a player that size out there. That means he's going to be able to help with the run. He's got enough size against any receiver that steps out there. I think he's very, very good. I agree. This is one that I definitely agree with Prisco about. Van, any comment?
No, I'm good with that. I don't have a... Yeah, I'm good with it. That was a very coherent response to your question, by the way.
Yeah. Harold Landry, linebacker for Tennessee.
I had a great-grandpa named Harold. He had this big-ass brown Cadillac, and we grew up on South Green Bay Road, right? You know, it was... It was a busy street, right? And he decided every time to back that big-ass Cadillac out in the middle of traffic.
What?
And so we all stood on the porch whenever Harold left to see if this was the day he was going to get smoked in that big-ass Cadillac. Never happened, but...
Good.
Anyways, Harold.
Good on you, Grandpa Van. Harold Landry, Tennessee linebacker. Here's the quote. After a slow start to his rookie season because of an ankle injury, which forced him to miss week 1, Landry flashed late in the season. He finished with 4.5 sacks, but had one in each of the team's final 2 games.
You know, he's really the next person up on that defense. You know, he lost a couple of guys in Brian Arakpo and Derek Morgan, so, you know, he's really the next one up to take that step at linebacker.
We'll see. I mean, to say he's Pro Bowl quality, I don't know, you know, but if he's picking up a sack per game, obviously he will be.
Not easy to do.
No, definitely not. Next up, Lorenzo Carter, linebacker from the New York Giants. Carter was a part-time player for the Giants last season, but with the trade of Vernon, they think he's going to step it up. Prisco says he expects him to push the double-digit sack numbers this season as he settles in as a starter. If he does that, that's definitely somebody to watch out for.
I'm looking at this list, and he thinks half of them be Pro Bowlers, and I haven't even heard half these guys.
Anyway, let's go on. Buffalo's Josh Allen makes this list.
I don't see him going to the Pro Bowl, but, you know.
I think the tough thing about him is last year he gets hurt, right? He had a horrible team around him. He had a bad completion percentage, but might I say that he had a horrible team around him.
You might say that, yes. That's another thing, too, about a lot of these players in the list. They play on bad teams. Being a, you know, offensive player, it's really hard to have a breakout year when everybody else around you sucks ass.
Josh Allen, I think, is an exciting player. Is he a Pro Bowl pick this year?
Nah, playa.
It's tough for me to reach that far.
The AFC has Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Ben Roethlisberger. Foles in it now.
Yeah, that's right.
And Josh Allen's going to make the Pro Bowl? Nah, player. If he makes the Pro Bowl, it'll be at cornerback because he's really good at making interceptions happen. So,
look, Josh Allen, I think he's a big quarterback, physically gifted. I think he could be a lot better this year. And that is the point where we switch over now to the NFC North. Minnesota and Dalvin Cook, running back.
I don't think that he had a bad year last year.
He tore his ACL in 2017. I do vaguely remember. Prisco says he was expecting a big season last year, and it didn't exactly happen. He rushed for 615 yards, missed 5 games with a hamstring injury. It's not the worst.
I don't know. I feel like Dalvin Cook was a guy that always tore us up whenever we play him.
Yeah, it's true. Anyway, it says Cook did average 4.6 yards per rush, and I quote, "Coach Mike Zimmer wants to run the ball, and Cook will be the guy who does it."
Okay,
I think he might have a big year. Minnesota's been known for running. Dalvin Cook's got some skill. If he's healthy, I think he could do the damn thing.
I want to see it happen. Well, actually, I don't want to see it happen.
It's very close by. Someone we face twice a year.
I would like for this guy to be wrong on his prediction.
Next, we have Deshaun Hand, defensive end for Detroit. He was a 4th-round pick. He was impressive for the Lions inside their defense, had 3 sacks, although he missed the final 3 games with a knee injury.
Poor fella. But, hey, you know who his one of his sacks was against?
Let me guess, the Packers.
That's right. He also had a forced fumble in that game.
Another player from Detroit, Kerryon Johnson, running back. I agree with this. I've seen him play. I think he's good. The first sentence says it all here. It's all about health for Johnson.
Yeah.
He is a good running back. I think he could be very good, very dangerous.
Yeah.
But he's just got to be healthy.
But the Lions also did sign C.J. Anderson as a free agent, so C.J. Anderson's a good veteran guy who might steal some touches from him, but we'll see.
I mean, C.J. Anderson is a bruiser, you know. He's in there for situational football, I think. But I don't know if I would call him like a premier back.
No.
But look, if I saw C.J. Anderson running at me with the ball, first off, I don't know why I'd be on a football field. But second off...
You don't have to be on a football field. You might have just been walking down the street, and all of a sudden C.J. Anderson's running at you with football.
We're just both at the grocery store.
Hey, both at Denny's, about to sit down at a table.
Oh, and he called dibs.
Yeah, he called dibs, and he's running you down.
But I will not relinquish my reservation.
You're getting reservations at Denny's?
Of course I do. When I go to a fancy restaurant like that, I gotta get a reservation.
Anyways, you're not standing in front of that. You're not getting your grand slam that day. Sorry.
Anyway, Kerryon Johnson, I think he could be great. We'll see how it shapes up with C.J. Anderson in there. And we saved the hometown boy for last, Jair Alexander, Green Bay cornerback.
I think he is a phenomenal player. I think out of the whole entire list, this guy has the best chance of being the Pro Bowler.
I really think he could be. I would say he's definitely top 2 on this list for making the Pro Bowl. Trey Flowers being the other standout off of this list.
He's a very smart, talented young man, and
super athletic.
He's had some really good athletic flashes on the field, and I really hope that second year transition happens. And I think I agree with Crisco Man on this one.
So, with that, I'm cheesing my way back to you, Van, with a burning cheese inside.
Is it the Packers section or something?
That is correct. It's time to slice that first piece of cheese.
Before we start with the actual content, I'd also like to say, at the music festival I was at in bumfuck North Carolina, I ran into 3 Packers fans.
3 Packers fans in North Carolina.
One guy had a Darren Sharper jersey on.
Whoa.
Another guy had just a Packers shirt. Other guy had a Packers hat. Anyways, real news this week.
The real news.
The most real news we have this week. And I can't say too much because I haven't watched any of it yet. But Aaron Rodgers made a guest appearance in the most recent episode of Game of Thrones.
Mrs. Jeezy, as we speak, is watching said episode.
She better keep her mouth shut because I haven't seen it yet this year because I've been busy. I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch the episodes yet.
I'm going to tell Mrs. Jeezy to text you direct with all of the Game of Thrones spoilers.
You better not. Don't do it. Please don't.
I saw this and I thought this was pretty fudging tight. They got pictures of him in the old garb and him in the military line, and it's just pretty tight.
But I don't think that's actually hit. See, no one can actually 100% find out which person he is. Like, that person looks like it might be close, but I've also seen, like, 3 other still photos of, like, well, this also could be Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but this one right here from the Pat McAfee show, I think that's gotta be him.
If you look at it, the stubble's not there.
Maybe he shaved it off.
Oh, that's...
Aaron Rodgers' stubble grows in like 18 minutes.
I would say it is impressively faster than my beard.
Yeah, it's so fast.
Also, what he's wearing in the upper picture does not match what he's wearing in the actual show photo.
Maybe they gave him a few different garb selections. Maybe he was an extra in multiple scenes.
Okay, Aaron Rodgers says, "It was just for a few seconds, but I'll always be thankful to have been on the penultimate episode of Game of Thrones. Hashtag crazy episode tonight. Hashtag 4 blue fire emojis."
That's it.
You don't even watch, do you?
No, I mean, I've seen a handful of episodes.
Did you like them?
They're fine.
They're fine.
This is fine.
All right, LaFleur.
This is fine.
But did you start from episode 1, or did you start from, like, midway?
I've just watched a few random episodes.
Well, that's not the way to do it. It's a story.
What do you mean a story?
I mean, like, the most basic concept of a story. You can't just pick it up in the middle and then know where you are at with it and appreciate it.
Remember when you were a kid and you really watched cable instead of Netflix and everything, And you just, like, sit down and you be in the middle of a show or a movie and you're just like, yeah, this is fine. I'll start here and I'll know exactly what I need to know.
Dude, you know what I did that with this weekend, though, when we were at the hotel?
What's that?
We're the Millers.
That movie's pretty funny.
I thought it was super good. Also, Jennifer Aniston's in it, and she's my all-time celebrity crush, so...
She's not as young as she was in that anymore.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Beautiful.
I'm not saying she's not.
Anyways, Aaron Rodgers. I would like to see more of Aaron Rodgers as an actor. Game of Thrones. He could do a cameo like Brett Favre did in There's Something About Mary.
Oh, but Brett Favre was so painfully bad at that.
It was awful.
So bad. Almost ruins one of the funniest movies of that era.
He just had to take some time to get his acting skills up to the point where he can do the copper braces now.
That is true.
The as seen on TV copper fit braces and the Levi's.
He does Wrangler.
I'm sorry, Wrangler. He just needed a little bit of practice to be able to do Wrangler, and then some more practice to be able to do the compression sleeves.
Yep. His compression sleeves work is much better.
Aaron's got to get a couple more acting gigs under his belt, and then he can be just as good as Brett Favre in There's Something About Mary.
You might be right.
Did you know that we picked up a new safety?
We picked up a new safety?
Yeah, it's a guy who talks like this, and he bit off some dude's ear in the early 2000s.
Oh, you're talking about my boy Mike Tyson.
I'm ferocious. I'll eat your heart. I'll eat your children's hearts.
Yeah, Packers did acquire Mike Tyson from the Texans, but it's not the Mike Tyson of yesteryear.
I'm ferocious.
I did see that, though, and I just said, I got to put this on here. It's worth a mention to say that Green Bay prepare for Mike Tyson.
From this photograph here, he's not quite as big as real Mike Tyson.
No, it says he's 6'1", 204 pounds.
Also, probably can't punch as hard either. Do you think you could take a punch from Mike Tyson?
Today or back then?
Either.
Where is he going to punch me, though?
Jaw.
Oh, shit. Is he wearing a glove or no?
Sure.
I think I could take one punch if he's wearing a glove and, like, not die, I mean.
He'd be knocked out, be just...
Hey, Mike, I'm having a little trouble sleeping. Can you come over to my place and help me out?
You're standing in a position, like, in your pajamas, right next to your bed, so that when he punches you, you just fall onto the bed and the covers just flip up and then slowly fall onto your body, and you're tucked in all nicely.
A new sleep aid by Mike Tyson. Can of whoop-ass sleep aid. It packs a punch.
$9.95 at your nearest Walgreens.
It's just a fucking Jack in the Box with a fist.
We'll also take your sponsorship, Walgreens.
Ooh, Walgreens.
Anyways, Mike Tyson.
He plays for Green Bay now.
Now, would you take a punch from that Mike Tyson?
Would I or could I? I mean, this dude is he's 6'1", 204 pounds, and a professional athlete.
He's a couple inches taller than us and a couple pounds heavier than us.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that Mike Tyson for Green Bay would also knock me the fuck out.
Packers Tyson and real Mike Tyson hit you in the same spot on your face. We know you're not taking real Mike Tyson's hit. We know that. Do you think new Mike Tyson would knock you out?
The real Mike Tyson, Mike.
You're dancing around the question.
Iron Mike Tyson is currently 52 years old.
You can still whoop your ass.
He would whoop my ass, no doubt. I think young Mike Tyson for Green Bay would do just as bad to me. I would say they would both just destroy me.
He doesn't even look that muscular.
I'd be DED dead.
All right, well, little bitch.
I mean, duh. What? How come I'm getting punched? Why don't you get punched some?
Because I asked the question. You never asked me the question.
I'm going to get all the strongest guys to punch you, like Tom Brady and Adam Vinatieri.
But Tom Brady in his combine photo.
Yeah, of course. Those you'll survive, I think. See, that's being friendly. I lined up weak dudes to punch you.
Tom Brady didn't get claimed off of waivers by the Packers, so unfortunately they didn't apply in this new segment.
I'll have to tweet Mike Tyson, see if he wants to stop by my place and try and knock me out or not.
I mean, but really, if you did tweet Mike Tyson, there's a shot he'd come on the show, because, like, I feel like Mike Tyson does that. How cool would it be to be like, yeah, we had Iron Mike Tyson on our show? How cool would that be?
That would be the best. The absolute best.
Everybody would be like, well, what does he have to do with, the NFL and the Green Bay Packers? And we would say, well, nothing. He just is Mike Tyson. We couldn't pass it up.
Exactly. I'd be all over that.
You're not going to not interview Mike Tyson.
No, definitely not. I don't even know what I would ask him. I'd be scared.
He'd punch you through the microphone.
That's right. I'm scared.
What's your favorite ferocious animal?
You're going to get destroyed.
And then I would get punched through the microphone for real, though.
Yeah, you would be dead. I'll have Iron Mike put together your eulogy.
He lies Van. I whooped his ass.
Now he is dead.
Now he's dead. I need some help here with the haha. I can't. I need some help. There it is.
It's the Gossip Girl section. So, in the spirit of Mother's Day, which, Van, did you do anything for Mother's Day for your mother?
I was still at that festival, so I made sure to give my mom a phone call and chat with her for a while. That's it, because I'm a terrible son.
That's nothing compared to what Bears Mike Davis did. You know what Bears Mike Davis did for Mother's Day?
What he did.
He bought his mama a house!
Shit, I'll be his mama. He can buy me a house.
I'll never be as good of a son as Mike Davis.
I won't either.
Mike Davis, you've set the bar too high for the rest of us, but I'm not hating because this is actually a good story. This comes from NFL.com. Kevin Patra wrote it. He surprised his mother on Sunday with a new house, and he cited that before, when his mom got evicted, sometime just before he tried to go pro, that was one of the main reasons he was pushing to become a professional football player. And now he's had to scrap. He's not been a super famous guy or anything like that, but he just got a little bit of money from the Chicago Bears. He did a good thing. He bought his mom a house. She'll never face eviction again. And, he took care of her. It's a wonderful thing.
Heartwarming.
Good for you, Mike Davis. That's awesome.
Thanks for putting the rest of us sons in the world to shame.
I sent my mom some flowers.
I'm a shitty son, so I didn't even do that.
I called her, sent her some flowers.
I didn't send her a card either. I'm tired. I'm awful.
You could have at least sent her a card, Van.
I know. I ran out of time to get one, which I know it is an excuse.
It's all right. Lots of people are bad children. Yours just happen to be one of them.
Oh.
You're not that bad. Could be worse. I mean, at least you called your mama.
I know you aren't going to hear this because you don't listen, but thank you, Mama.
Anyway, time to slice that next... Oh, no, we're not in the Packer section. What the fuck am I doing?
You are so...
I blew it.
We're talking about JuJu having a water balloon fight.
JuJu put together a big-ass water balloon party featuring live DJ, dodgeball, inflatables, free Chick-fil-A, pizza, and giveaways that included tickets and money.
Holy shit, dude.
He also signed autographs.
I'll go just for the Chick-fil-A.
He's just giving it away, man.
He's just really showing how much better he is than Antonio Brown.
They asked him what inspired it, and I quote, "I am a kid. I'm only 22 years old. For me, I have the money to do it. I'm doing it because I want to do it. It's part of my free spirit. Everything out here is free. You can have a fun time and enjoy yourself. It's lit."
It is lit, though.
That is tight.
I will say the only problem is they forgot to send my invite, and now I'm finding out about it, and I feel a little upset that I didn't get invited to the water balloon party.
I think it's supposed to be for kids, Van. You would have been just like that creepy guy with a big beard, like, with no kid with you.
Yeah. So?
Just there, just eating all the Chick-fil-A, pushing kids down and shit.
I'll eat the pizza, too. I mean, it's fine.
Well, it's nice of you to not hog all the premium foods.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always thinking about everybody else.
We'll have to earmark this on the calendar. It's supposed to be an annual event, so we'll see.
I did see that, yeah. Donaldson Park in Oakdale, Pennsylvania.
Continuing on the gossip, this is 3 in a row. Maybe the off season is when I guess it would have to be when all the people do their most good and most bad stuff. But right now we're focusing on the really good. Jerry Carino of Asbury Park Press wrote about Miles Austin went back to college to get his degree after a 10-year NFL detour. And this wasn't some, like, oh, I took the rest of the classes online so I could get my degree thing. No, none of that. He went back to the classroom and sat elbow to elbow, side by side, in the classroom. And the teachers are on here. They're all describing...
That shit was not elbow to elbow, because he was a big dude. That is like elbow to center of chest. Like, he's fucking just...
That could be true. But it says that Austin left Monmouth in 2006, took basically 10 years off, and came back to finish his degree.
Good.
He earned his degree in history with a focus on political science. The 34-year-old completed a year's worth of credits and did it the old-fashioned way, in the classroom.
Can you imagine being a freshman coming into college and like, hey, by the way, your roommate is going to be Miles Austin?
He did. It doesn't say he lived in the dorms, had a meal plan. Miles Austin wasn't going back to try and get his freshman 15. Anyway, I think it's pretty incredible. He said he wanted to show his kids that you got to go out and finish what you start. And he also just has a strong passion for history and political science. And his professor was saying, because one of the classes he took was one where they had to do the model Congress and all these things. He said, this is a guy we could see in Congress sometime. He's got that kind of understanding of how politics work.
Miles Austin 2020.
Well, he didn't say for president, but
fuck it, Congress. Don't care. Miles Austin 2020.
I have no idea. You don't even know what his political stances are.
Don't care. Just to clarify, Van and Jeezy do not have a political affiliation. Van and Jeezy are staying out of politics.
Agreed. Unless Miles Austin wants us as his campaign co-chairs.
Then we'll definitely do it.
Also, we have no idea what his politics are.
No. Nor do we have any idea how to run any kind of a political campaign.
Miles Austin, congratulations. I think that is impressive. You went back to college, got it, worked super hard, got good grades, did the whole damn thing. Good example for your kids, good example for everybody.
Good life lesson to begin with. You don't have to accept where you're at. You don't have to say that I'm stuck doing this forever. Go out there, go learn something. Go do something different, try something.
This Gossip Girl was an uplifting section. Anyways, moving on to the shittier stuff of the NFL. This interesting take is about the commissioner's exempt list. This comes from SB Nation, written by Adam Stites, and he gives us the full NFL player personnel policy manual definition of it. I'm going to go ahead and read the whole fucking thing. Here it is. The exempt list is a special player status available to clubs only in unusual circumstances. The list includes those players who have been declared by the commissioner to be temporarily exempt from counting within the active list limit. Only the commissioner has the authority to place a player on the exempt list. Clubs have no such authority, and no exemption, regardless of circumstances, is automatic. The commissioner also has the authority to develop. The commissioner also has God bless it. The commissioner also has the authority to determine in advance whether a player's time on the exempt list will be finite or will continue until the commissioner deems the exemption should be lifted and the player returned to the active list.
I have two things to say.
Go ahead.
Number one, your enunciation during that was wonderful.
Thank you.
You really hit your T's and your X's. That was good.
Thank you, sir.
Number two, this seems to be just generic enough that this could apply to fucking anything and anyone for any amount of time.
I want to change the name of this rule to the wedding guest rule. Because really what it is it's a +1 for any NFL roster. He can just say, oh yeah, they can have a +1. He gets paid, he gets everything, gets all the benefits of being there, except he doesn't get to play.
Yeah, that's basically what the article says. It says, quote, in layman's terms, the league office can cite unusual circumstances and keep a player on the shelf for as long as it wants. That player continues to get paid while out of action. The interesting thing is that it's a commissioner's distinction, right? The team can't say, hey, let's put Tyreek Hill on the shelf and just, take care of it later. But this actually got used back in 2009 when Michael Vick went to jail for dogfighting.
It's interesting that you pull that same one. So it does say that it seems the rule has changed because the Eagles had a say in it at that time, whereas now the rule clearly says it's strictly a commissioner's determination. And in 2013, the same happened for Jeff Demps, who pursued a professional...
Who the fuck is Jeff Demps?
I don't know. It says he pursued a professional track career, so he didn't have any problem. He was put on the exempt list and then pulled by the Buccaneers.
But why is he... I thought the exempt list was for, no-nos and bad things.
Well, this was given a special exemption because he wanted to pursue another professional sport without being taken off of the roster.
Okay, I get it. I'm good.
So it says it wasn't until 2014's Ray Rice, Greg Hardy, and Adrian Peterson cases that personal conduct kind of came under a lot of scrutiny and the exemption rule changed. So now it's completely commissioner.
I feel like it's a money move, man.
You think it's a money move? It's just one of these...
It seems like it. Like, these people that violate the personal conduct policy, not for smoking weed, because fine, you know what? Go smoke weed. I don't care. To me, what this rule reads as is the commissioner can keep them on the shelf and be like, no. Once this all dies down, we can get them back into circulation and keep making some more money out of them.
The other part of it is that it makes the team off the hook, right? It gives a proper scapegoat every time. It's not like we can really give any backlash to an organization exactly because the commissioner made him exempt. We don't have any power over that, so it gives a scapegoat. It allows teams to not have the same level of consequences, I feel.
Yeah,
because they don't have to worry about that person counting against their roster limit. So a lot of these players, they're kind of sunk costs anyway. But anyway, there says there's nothing particularly unusual about the circumstances for players who get on this exemption nowadays. It basically follows the same 3 steps. 1, player is accused of violence. 2, player gets paid leave on the commissioner's exempt list, which is basically what it is, just paid leave.
Just taking PTO.
And then 3, player eventually gets a suspension. And that's it.
That's stupid.
The real thing I think here is who is accountable and who holds the risk now. The commissioner is basically fully responsible and all of that, but the teams, these organizations, these cities, they get kind of a pass.
Devil's advocate here.
Go ahead. What do you got?
Why is it the team's fault that the player made a bad decision at home?
It's not, and this is the big but, it's not my mom's fault that I was bad, necessarily, but she still has to discipline my ass. The teams are taken off the hook here. They don't have to do the disciplining because it's taken completely out of their hands. They should be the ones who administer the discipline and take the consequences and risks.
To counter my previous point, this article does say that, Tyreek Hill being on the exempt list, let's say he was found to be cleared of all wrongdoing. This was all just a big bunch of smoke. If that's true and the Chiefs didn't get rid of him, well, they'll be glad they didn't get rid of him, right? He's still on their roster. He's still, he's still a great receiver and returner. He's still a Chief. But at the end of the day, they're taking a risk on it. And if it doesn't work out and he proves that he is guilty of all these things, well, then it looks like, this article says that the Chiefs should face criticism for appearing to prioritize touchdowns over the safety of a 3-year-old child.
But that's exactly it. I think this should fall on the Chiefs, not on the commissioner, to just say, well, you know what? Hill is on paid time off until we decide something.
I think every team would potentially have their own version of the player conduct rule. My understanding is that the personal conduct rule is a league-wide rule. And I think if the team was to be the first responsible party in line, then, if there's a variation of this personal conduct rule from team to team, you're not going to have even discipline across the board.
It's uncertain what will happen with the Tyreek Hill case. But Kansas City is the main beneficiary if he's cleared and able to go back to play. They should also be the ones to say, you know what, we're going to do something about this. It seems uneven to me to not have them be making a decision, to just have the boss came, well, we don't know, paid time off till it's time.
It's like an employee fucked up, and instead of going to their manager, you're going to the district manager because it was that hard of a fuck up.
Yeah, maybe.
That's exactly what it is.
But it's a little...
You're going to the boss's boss because it was that severe of an infraction.
All right, maybe. But I still don't like it. I think it should be handled in-house.
I think the whole punishment policy in the NFL is fucked to begin with. That's where we need to start.
That is true. You are right about that. The wrap-up line from this article is, but for now, the NFL is seemingly making up rules as it goes, with little transparency about the process, to absolve teams of responsibility. It should be the teams and the teams alone that deal the consequences of sticking by a player accused of violence.
I guess if the team makes the decision to hold on to a shitty player and it comes out that, yeah, the shitty player was shitty, then the NFL itself can impose fines and sanctions on the team.
That whole story is so infuriating, but, again, we'll just have to keep an eye out and see what comes out of it.
Yeah. Man, this section's kind of a downer.
It is really a downer. After such a high-level gossip section, this is really a downer.
Can we pull anything small out of our asses here to make it happy? Let's end it on a quick fun fact. Joe Namath was on Nixon's enemies list.
Oh, I did see that. That shit was hilarious.
Why?
I don't know. Enemy of the people, I guess.
Apparently, Joe Namath is a treasonous bastard.
No. It's the only thing I can ever remember him doing wrong was him saying he didn't care about the team struggling, and then he told the sideline reporter that he wanted to kiss her. Do you remember that?
I do remember that, Broadway Joe.
Had to.
I want to kiss you. That's how he was fucked up. Oh, I want to kiss you.
I mean, that's how you become an enemy of the people.
And with that,
thanks everybody for tuning in. You've been listening to Gettin Cheezy with Van and Jeezy.
I'm Van.
And I am Jeezy.
As always, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play Music, cheesypodcast.com.
Did you say Apple Podcasts?
I did not, because I forgot those were a thing. Apple Podcasts. And we might have 2 more for you. We're not going to tell you which yet.
Because we haven't been approved yet.
We haven't been approved yet. But Jeezy's working on it.
It's coming, I hope.
These other 2, they can see through our bullshit. They know that this isn't really anything worthy of posting on their sites.
Well, one of them has a not everyone gets in policy. The other one is anyone who checks all the boxes gets in, so we're likely going to get in that one.
But did you check all the boxes right, though?
No money back. Why am I always in charge of filling these out?
Because you're more savvy than I am.
I guess. Check us out on the internet in the future in new places.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Bye.
We'll see you next time.